cleaning, plus a free exam and full mouth x-rays. Over 3,000 5-star reviews, 5 locations, and same-day care. Book online at hooddentalcare.com.
Since the 1930s, Supreme Rice has delighted their customers for all of your favorite South Louisiana dishes. Whether you like the brown, long grain, medium grain, jasmine, or the new parboiled rice, Supreme Rice makes your favorite dishes even better. They even have a healthy low glycemic rice, a great option for diabetics and those who have high insulin resistance. Supreme Rice is proud to be part of the Climate Smart program, which promotes water conservation and reduces methane emissions so future generations of Louisiana farmers can enjoy the same benefits. For more information and great recipes, find them online at supremerice.com.
Louisiana's big weather can mean big damage to your roof. Our team offers free inspections and guarantees your satisfaction. Call 756-8603 or visit riceandroofing.com.
Just to be on the safe side.
Now, the Hunt Palmer Show.
A magic beyond anything you could ever imagine.
You are now listening to the Hunt Palmer Show. Brought to you by Sagrera Farms on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Locking down the middle of the day.
You really think that's the best idea?
Live from the Raising Cane studio. This is Hunt Palmer.
It's quite a piece of work.
Welcome in. Hunt Palmer coming to you from the Raising Cane studio downtown in the capital city on this Thursday. Means we're brought to you by Sagrera Farms Premium Angus Beef. Got Jordan Kitchens and Cassie Spazali back there on the ones and twos, working towards the weekend. Fired up, you're here with us. Luke Johnson, 15 minutes from right now, starting the Saints off season. Where do we go from here? We'll talk to Luke about it. Ole Miss and Miami tonight from the desert. I'm really nervous, kind of anxious, marginally excited, reasonably hopeful. We'll talk about it coming up in 30 minutes. I want to talk about LSU's quarterback situation. Not necessarily a starter, maybe a backup and where they might find him. Chris Blair will be with us, voice of the Tigers, at 2:15. So lots and lots to do. Appreciate you hanging out with us. Portal's up and running. Let's start there with our opening drive.
Welcome to the big league.
It's time for Hunt's Opening Drive. Presented by Fabry Chevrolet GMC in St. Francisville.
So when we last left you, LSU had picked up a defensive line commitment from Stefylon Green from Clemson, defensive tackle. Been a starter there at Clemson, big physical presence, had played reasonably well. I wouldn't call him a star, but a serviceable ACC starter that you bring into your program where you've got to add some depth on the defensive line. And LSU continued that over the next 24 hours with a couple of more recruits with SEC roots on the defensive front. That started with Jalen Brown, who is a 6'5", 260-pound edge. He was a 4-star recruit coming out of high school. LSU was involved with him. He ended up going to Missouri. He played there as a freshman, played in 5 games at Missouri. Then he transferred to South Carolina, and then he hurt his knee in spring football, missed the entirety of the season this past year. Who was his defensive line coach at South Carolina? That was Sterling Lucas, who's now on the staff at LSU. So Brown has not played a lot. 37 snaps is what Pro Football Focus tells me in the Southeastern Conference, but certainly his pedigree was good in high school. His size is excellent, 6'5", 260. I looked at the PFF grades for 37 snaps a year and a half ago. Take what you will from it. 63.6 defensively overall, 73.8 against the run, 55.2 in tackling, and then he had reasonable pass rush score in the 70s as well. It's not a big sample size, probably not enough to sink any time or at all into Pro Football Focus, but he's a guy that's got some pedigree, that's got some years in the weight room, that doesn't have a lot of playing experience. But you bring him in on the edge to compete. And I'll talk about the depth chart in a second, but he's the first guy he brought in. And quickly after that, Malik Brockton jumped in the boat, 6'3", 291 defensive tackle from Auburn. 4-star recruit, spent 2 years at Auburn, played in 24 games over those 2 years, so 12 a year, and had 10 starts, including 8 this year for Auburn. So he started 8 of the 12 games for Auburn this year. Keep in mind, Auburn had a very, very good run defense this year. They were second in the conference in run defense and yards per carry allowed, and Brockton was a starter for 2/3 of the year. He had 8.5 tackles for loss over those 2 years, had 2 sacks from a defensive tackle spot over those 2 years. I looked at Pro Football Focus for him, 64.7 overall, 61.1 against the run, 65.1 pass rush, and then had a bad tackling score, 23.2 on tackling. It's credited him with 9 missed tackles from the defensive interior. But hey, if you're missing tackles, it means at least you're in position to make them. You just got to finish. But those two guys you bring into the fold. I'm trying to harken back on last year, where I looked at some of these additions, veteran players, reasonable numbers, 4-star high school pedigrees, older players, not stars, and what'd you get from them? And you got Jack Pyburn, Jamari Butler, Patrick Payton, Bernard Gooden. And so they kind of played to what they were. Payton didn't have the sack numbers. He had the PFF grades and the hurries. He didn't have the sacks that he did at Florida State. But you look at these guys, and these guys just seem to be league average SEC players to me based on the numbers. I'm not a scout. I'm not a defensive line coach. I can look at numbers. I can look at grades. I can look at recruiting profiles. And that's what I deduce from that. So where does this plug these guys in at LSU? Because on the defensive front, the guys I just mentioned, Pyburn, Payton, Butler, all gone out of eligibility. Jacoby and Guillory, gone. Bernard Gooden, gone. Ahmad Bro, gone. And just as of 45 minutes ago, I don't even think it was that long ago. It was actually like 20 minutes ago. Buddy Mathis went in the transfer portal. And it feels like, I don't know this, but it feels like LSU entertained a lot of defensive linemen, got commitments from 2 juniors today and 1 junior yesterday, and then Buddy Mathis decided to go in the transfer portal. Like, it's been open. Guys have been going in for 3 weeks. Now, hadn't been officially in, but they've been announcing their intention for 3 weeks, and it just feels like Buddy Mathis may have looked at this and gone, well, they're bringing in a bunch of defensive linemen. I'm out of here. And that's just the world we live in college football. I'm not wild about it, but it is what it is. That has nothing to do with LSU. It just seems like a lot of folks look around and say, well, you're recruiting at my position, see ya, which didn't necessarily happen in a bygone era. But Buddy Mathis goes in the portal today. So what does LSU have? I looked at the tackle position. You've got basically 5. Don McKinley, Stephylan Green from Clemson, Malik Blockton, who you got today from Auburn, Brandon Brown, and Sean Washington. Now, you go to the high school ranks, and you have Richard Anderson, Deuce Geralds, and probably Lamar Brown. We'll see what he does. Maybe on the edge, maybe on the interior, but he's a hybrid. Y'all know Lamar Brown's story. So you're looking at 5 guys, 2 freshmen, maybe 2.5 freshmen, 6, 7 is what it is. I say that in my ear and it goes nuts. I say 6, 7, and it's like, and I'm not even in that world. Cassie started laughing. I mean, that was literally what it is. It's 6 or 7 guys. I don't have another way to say that.
I know. We're just childish. Trust me. Every time you say it, me and Cassie just laugh.
Crazy. 6 or 7.
Let's go 8. 6 or 8.
Yeah, 6, 8 guys. Yeah. Whatever it is. That's the case at the defensive tackle. None of them are all conference level players, all American level players. You're going to need a jump from some of those guys. You go to the edge. Gabe Relaford coming off a significant injury, but to his upper body, you think that the lower body's okay. Then you got Jaylen Brown, who I mentioned, an edge, 6'5", 260 from Missouri, then South Carolina. C.J. Jackson, Damian Shanklin, Dylan Carpenter, guys that have been on the roster, haven't necessarily played a ton. And then you add Trenton Henderson to that number and potentially Lamar Brown to that number. That, again, is, and I won't say it, maybe 6 to 8 guys that you're looking at. It's in the numbers, it's about 14 total. And it's a group that is certainly improved today as opposed to Monday. Like, no question. Stephylan Green's a starter at Clemson. Malik Blockton, starter at Auburn. You have fortified things, but you're going to need jumps. Don McKinley needs to emerge as a breakout player. He is not yet. You need a step forward from Stephylan Green or Malik Blockton. Gabe Relaford needs to stay on the field and show some of the potential that we know that he has. Same thing goes for Damian Shanklin. Same thing goes for C.J. Jackson. Guys that you feel like were high pedigree guys, have all the tools. They need to show up and play very well. And then what do you get from the freshman class? I'm just not willing to. I know how highly recruited Lamar Brown was. I know how highly recruited Richard Anderson was. I know what people think of Deuce Geralds. There are some people who think Deuce Geralds is the best defensive lineman in this class with Lamar Brown and with Richard Anderson. I know what those guys high school pedigrees are, I don't love counting on true freshman defensive linemen. But we'll see. Maybe they're stars. There are star SEC freshman defensive linemen. Defensive linemen and offensive linemen are more prepared to come into college now than they ever have been. But still, I don't like counting on them. So this, to me, looks like a group that's better in numbers than it was on Monday, that doesn't necessarily have the star power. And this is maybe not the greatest barometer, but I can't help it based on the timing. I spent 45 minutes this morning going over Miami Ole Miss. And for like 20 of those minutes, I'm going over statistics, PFF grades, and what the written word is about those two defensive linemen at Miami and how much they're dominating games. And I think back to Glenn Dorsey, and I think back to Logan, Brockers, Mingo, Montgomery, and I think back to Spears and Lavallee and Hill, and I think back to game-wrecking defensive lines. And I know how big a deal that is in football at every level. And I'm not willing to suggest this is that. I think what I'm trying to guard against maybe is that you get these transfers and immediately it's like signing day in a bygone era where you used to go, well, that's a 5-star. He's going to be a stud right now. And you look at these transfers and you go, that's going to be incredible. And maybe it's because LSU just brought in a truckload of transfers and we sung their praises all of August. And really they played pretty well, but the team stunk. This to me looks like, and I use this example a lot. I don't know if it hits home or not because I don't think a lot of you spend a lot of time paying attention to Major League Baseball, but it's not a hard concept. WAR, wins above replacement. You take the average player in the league, and sometimes you have a positive WAR, sometimes you're worse than that. But 0 is league average. 0 is not bad. 0 is league average. A -3 player is bad. A +5 player is great. But a 0 player is just league average. And it feels like you've got a lot of 0 wars on this team, which is not to say, when I'm looking at this, not to say this is bad. It sounds like that when I say 0. Again, it's not. But I don't see the game changer on this sheet of paper where I've written out LSU's entire defensive line chart. That's the job of Sterling Lucas. That's the job of Kevin Peoples. And that's the job of the coaching staff to continue to add. I don't think they're done on defensive line. They may have just added some depth here, some older players who you know can play. You know that Stefan Green can come in and play in the SEC at defensive tackle. You know that. You know Don McKinley can play in the SEC at defensive tackle. You know Gabe Relaford can play in the SEC on the edge. You know that Dalen Brown has experience playing in the SEC as a true freshman in 4 or 5 games. But I don't see the star. And that's what my hope is for the next 10 days for LSU. You know that they've had Chaz Coleman in. You know that they've brought in some other guys. I'm just hopeful they can make a splash. Because I think defensive line play is crucial. And I'm looking at Miami, and they're winning games because they're defensive line. This doesn't yet appear to be that. One final time to put a bow on it. You're going to hear this segment, and you're going to go, man, he's such a pessimist. They get 3 guys in 24 hours from Clemson, Auburn, and South Carolina, and he's like poo-pooing the entire thing. I'm not. I promise. They look like solid players. Solid is not the standard for LSU. I'm looking for championship level at this point in the calendar. And when I look at these guys, it just looks solid. And solid's good. It's good to add solid players. Just thinking, okay, where are the stars? And maybe Lamar Brown and Richard Anderson and Deuce Geralds and Gabe Relaford and Damian Shanklin and Trenton Henderson are stars, and they're just a year away from being stars. And I'd be fine with that. If you guaranteed me that today, I'd be good with it. But I'm here to analyze the additions, not to just blindly praise everything that happens, and not to be overly negative, just to give my assessment of the situation. My assessment of the situation is LSU was very thin on the defensive line based on portal exits and end of eligibility as of the opening of the portal. You were too thin. You've addressed that with power conference players. That's a very good thing. Is it great? I'm not willing to sit here right now and say that, but there's plenty of time, and they're adding guys like hours are ticking off the clock. It is rapid fire. And I think as I assess the job that LSU's staff is doing right now at restocking a roster that was really depleted numbers-wise, I think they're doing a very good job at restocking the numbers. I just don't know if it's elite. And that's my word for it. You can choose to think that, yeah, this looks awesome to me, and you can choose to think that this is a rebuilding year that I don't have any expectations for. It's January. We got a long way to go before they actually hit the field. My assessment is solid players they're adding. Is there more? I'm curious to see that. Our Thursday show is brought to you by Sagrera Farms Premium Angus Beef. Got to tell y'all, on the way up to Shreveport for Christmas, I picked up some Sagrera Farms beef from Sean, took it up, and my family, extended family, there's like 35 of us at this Christmas, took it home different places. Denver, Shreveport, St. Louis, New Orleans, and I've been getting reviews. A lot of it got eaten on New Year's Eve. A lot of steaks are being cooked in various Palmer houses around the places. The reviews are awesome because this beef is incredible. It's a first-hand account. It is some of the finest beef that you will find, and it's right here just north of Baton Rouge at Sagrera Farms. Fillets, strips, ribeyes, the ground beef. We cooked burgers on Sunday. My wife is addicted to the Sagrera Farms burger. They're just better than any burgers I've ever made at home. More flavorful, tender, juicy, awesome. If you want to change the way you're buying beef, you want to take my word for it, get up there to Sagrera Farms Premium Angus Beef and get you a side of beef. Get you a quarter of cow. Stock that freezer and make that change with Sagrera Farms. It is divine stuff that Sean's got going up there at Sagrera Farms in Ethel. All right, we'll come back with Luke Johnson talking Saints next.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Lifetime Roofing. LifetimeRoofingLA.com is the website. Baton Rouge based, but they will service the entire state of Louisiana, plus Houston over in the Texas area as well. You know, when we think new roof, a lot of times you think, well, is there a storm? Well, we don't have a storm. It's January. We didn't have a storm this year, not a significant hurricane. But that's not the only time you can look for a new roof. If you're looking to sell your home and you're thinking your roof might not be up to standard, it might hurt you when you look to put your home on the market, well, have it inspected. Have Lifetime Roofing come out and look at it. They may tell you, yep, you need a new roof. And they'll help you finance that new roof if you need to. They may tell you, we just need a tune-up. We need to fortify this thing, but it's okay, and you can sell your home with this. They may tell you they just need a little repair, but they will be honest with you, they'll be forthcoming with you, and they'll help you through that process. A lot of people are intimidated by the fact that you would have to purchase a new roof retail. They do that, and they'll offer you a lifetime workmanship warranty at Lifetime Roofing. Reach out to them, lifetimeroofingla.com. They're right here in Baton Rouge. Gorgeous new facility there just off of College Drive. I had the pleasure to go there in December, sit down with the whole crew. It's an awesome crew. It's a great staff. It's a growing staff. It's a gorgeous location. They do unbelievable work. Check them out online, lifetimeroofingla.com. That is Lifetime Roofing.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
I'm Lawyer Locke Meredith. We are honored and humbled to receive from our clients in Google. Based on 5-star client reviews, the designation of our law firm is highly recommended. Whether you hire us at all, please give us a call, 272-5555. You have nothing to lose.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith. Injuries happen when you least expect them to, making your life more complicated. At Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan & Associates, we know this, and we strive to help each of our clients during these times. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs. Set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free confidential help now.
everyone. And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane, you're cooking with gas. In the wintertime, nothing heats a home like Louisiana propane. And when you need hot water, propane's got you covered. Oh, and you won't regret that propane generator when the power goes out. I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and to find more information and to find a propane dealer near you, visit louisianapropane.com.
Most roofers just replace your shingles. At Pelican, we diagnose your roof, digging deep down to find the root cause of your roof symptoms. Now cough for me? Good. We don't ignore your roof's issues, we address them. Let's just take care of this right here, helping your roof to become the best version of itself. Interesting that you would say that. How does that make you feel? So call Pelican Roofing for your free roof checkup today.
Listening to the Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Sagrera Farms.
Thursday show is brought to you by Sagrera Farms. Premium Angus beef. Should be a wild weekend in the National Football League as the playoffs begin. The Saints will not be in action. Hopefully, this time next year, we are talking about a playoff berth, and that was seemingly impossible a month ago. Not so much now. Luke Johnson covers the black and gold for NOLA.com and The Advocate. Good enough to give us a little time here on this Thursday. Luke, how we doing?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. It is nice to be in the off season.
Well, you started the offseason with Mickey Loomis and Kellen Moore, and as exciting as the Saints were down the stretch, generally speaking, they're not full of unbelievable quotes. I would imagine you probably felt the same at their press conference, but I'm curious if you had any main takeaways from what they had to say.
Yeah, I think it was just nice to hear them kind of say the obvious, right? They have a quarterback they feel really good about, and that is not only like the most important position that they've got figured out, but it helps them in like 5 different areas. Yeah, they have a quarterback on a rookie contract. Look, this is like the first time that their chosen guy, is on a rookie contract in 25 years.
Yep.
Right. It has been forever since they've been in this situation, and that's huge. And then they've got a quarterback who I think a lot of people. You opened a lot of eyes around the league. We got that Teron Armstead podcast the other day where he's reading off text from a division rival saying like he feels like he's got Josh Allen in his division all over again. Like, guys pay attention to that stuff, and all of a sudden, the Saints are like maybe going to be an attractive option for free agents. Like this is stuff that is really important, and it's like one guy who's got you there. So it was just nice to hear them say this stuff. They've been weirdly kind of dancing around it all year. Everybody and their mother knew that Tyler Shuck was going to be their starting quarterback in 2026, but we got to hear him say it. I think that was important.
So with Derek Carr's money is somewhat coming off the books here, and you saying that you could be an attractive destination for free agents, like what's important for New Orleans right now? You can start with the current roster or with positions of need outside the roster, but what do you think this is not a position they've been in very often, quite frankly.
Yeah, it's not, and I think they need to be careful not to overextend.
Yeah.
Right, and to get really excited by really it was 8 starts. We can kind of throw that first start against the Rams out. I think it was a tough situation for your first start. So you got really 8 starts that you're really evaluating, and the stuff that really makes you feel confident about the future. They can't take that and do what like Washington did this offseason, where they're trying to accelerate being Super Bowl contender. It blew up in Washington's face, and we've seen that happen a lot. And we've seen it happen with the Saints. They had a good young core. They extended a bunch of them. Basically, none of those guys, with the exception of maybe Alvin Kamara, worked out. And it kind of put them in a bind. I don't think they can go out there and just like spend like crazy and like really go for it and pushing money into future years and, just assuming your draft class is going to pan out. Like, they got to be careful. They got to do this the right way. I think they understand that, but we'll see if they can put it into practice. As far as like what they need, I think they obviously need to improve their interior offensive line play. Some of that is Eric McCoy being out with injury, but that's 2 straight years now where he's missed half a season plus. You need to be ready for that. Their guard play needs to be better, and they need to get more explosive. They had 34 runs of 10-plus yards this year. The quarterbacks were responsible for a third of those. That's less than 5 individual players got this year, right? It's like half of what the league leader got. Like, they need to be more explosive in the running game. And I think in the passing game too. Like, they got to surround Shuck with playmakers. I think that's exciting because they've realized that, and we have a chance here for the first time in a long time where we're not talking about a defensive end or an offensive tackle in the first round of the draft.
What do you feel about Chris Olave and his contract situation?
Yeah, I came on your show like 2 months ago, and I said I wouldn't do it.
Yep.
And I think he's made me eat those words a little bit. I still don't like. I don't think he's ever going to be like Jamar Chase or Devontae Adams, where he's like clear elite number 1 overall receiver who's going to just like dominate every game. I think there's going to be plays where you just wish he makes, but I think that's okay. I think that's okay to pay a guy like that $30+ million a year because that's what the market is. And I think over the last half of the year, when you saw better quarterback play, it's not anything against Spencer Rattler. I think it's just obvious that Shuck was better. Like, Olave really came on. He really blossomed. And there's still plays you wish he makes, but the 8 or 9 plays he does make in a game are really, really good. And I think you still need to add some help around him because, again, I don't think he's going to be a guy that just like absolutely drags you in your offense along. But like, I think he's really good. I think he's worth keeping around, and especially if you can add like a complementary piece to it. I think he can only get better from here. So like, I would be surprised if we go into next season and there's not a contract extension already in place that pays him north of $30 million a year.
The interesting thing that the way I framed it is if I don't look at it as just the investment in Olave, and I look at it as an investment in the wide receiver room and say, DeValay is cheap, you keep him around, and then you maybe draft a guy in the 1st or 2nd round who's not going to be super expensive, and then you feel like you've spread that money in the wide receiver core. I think it becomes more palatable, even if you don't think Olave is the truest of true number 1s. If the rest of the receiving core is cheap and talented, then maybe it's more justified, right?
That's 100% correct. They got 2 more years on Devon Bailey's rookie contract. They've got 2 more years on Jalen Pokes, who, remember, we haven't seen him.
I didn't think about
him. Former 2nd-round pick. You could potentially be adding another top 50 draft pick to the mix. Yes, Olave would be expensive for, let's call it another 4 years. Let's say it's a 4-year deal. But like, for a big chunk of that, like, you're going to have the rest of the receiver core be cheap, unless they were to go out and try to like trade for like T like that, right? That's always a possibility, right? Like, you can't just like ignore that. But I do think that there's a legit chance that they don't do that, and that like Olave makes up like 80% of what they're paying that receiver core in a given year. I think that's okay.
2 guys I talked about yesterday, just your thoughts on Demario Davis and Cam Jordan and what their future may hold.
Yeah, we had a little back and forth about this among my colleagues and I think the priority for the Saints will be Demario then Cam, just in terms of their expiring contract guys. I think they have a better chance of coming back than somebody like Lante Taylor, whose free agency I think will be really interesting this offseason. But Demario, I think he's obviously somebody who's going to play like 99% of the defensive snaps. He's somebody who is so important to just the locker room dynamic in there. You talk to like literally anybody on the Saints, and Demario is like the first person they bring up when it comes to like the culture and the leadership in the locker room. He still played at a high level. Like, he is not the same player that he was 4 years ago. Like, there are more gaps in his game than there were, but he's still playing at an extremely high level. And if there's other things that he can't do, there are other things that he does better than he did 4 years ago. And Cam, I think Cam wants to come back. I think the team wants Cam to come back, but I think the contract negotiation is going to be interesting there. Like, Cam's talked many times this season about, basically how he didn't really like the way his contract was handled this offseason. You understood it from like the fact that he didn't really produce the 2 seasons before this one, but he just went out and had 10.5 sacks. Like he's like top 15 guy in terms of like sack production in the NFL at 36. I don't think he's going to want to take a discount this time around. And I'll be really curious to see how the Saints handle that. They want him back, but I think they want him back at their price, and we'll see if that price is close to what Cam Jordan wants.
What's the next few weeks look like for you in terms of content, where people can find it?
Yep, you can find all of our stuff over at NOLA.com/Saints. We will be having a bunch of stuff coming out in the next week or two, and we're still going to be doing 2 podcasts a week throughout the end of this month. So you can look at all of our old podcast stuff wherever you get it, but like we kind of prefer you guys find us on YouTube. We can look at the comments there. We can track our subscription numbers there, so you can find us Saints Insider at NOLA.com there.
Appreciate you, Luke. We'll talk next week.
My pleasure. See ya.
Luke Johnson with NOLA.com and The Advocate talking Saints. All right, I got to talk about Ole Miss in Miami tonight from the desert. We'll do it next.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
If you're looking for a fresh start, Ochsner's Eat Fit Alcohol-Free for 40 Challenge is back. 40-day reset, sleep better, boost your energy, feel your best. And they're not telling you got to give anything up forever here, okay? Just seeing how your body responds when you take a break and let it recharge. When you sign up, you get access to pre- and post-challenge metrics like body composition, blood pressure, optional labs, and you can see the changes your body makes over 40 days. People who have done alcohol-free for 40 report clearer skin, more focus, brighter mood, better sleep, and it usually happens within the first couple of weeks. So Ochsner's Eat Fit supports you with zero-proof drink ideas, nutrition tips, and a community of people all taking on the challenge together. Good news, we're into January now, so registration is open. So whether you join an official event or just take on the challenge from home, it's your chance to hit reset and kind of feel the difference in the new year. So if you want to learn more, you want to sign up for Alcohol-Free for 40, you can do it at alcoholfreefor40.com. That's alcoholfreefor40.com from our friends at Ochsner.
Jordan Faber here with some exciting news. Faber Automotive has officially arrived. We're proud to introduce your new hometown dealership, Faber Chevrolet GMC. That means more inventory, better deals, and the same great local team. Now backed by the trusted Faber family name. Whether you're shopping or servicing, you'll feel the difference from day one. Allow us the opportunity to earn your business.
Fabry Chevrolet GMC. Visit us in St. Francisville or online at FabryChevrolet.com.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
After a decade of working in private duty nursing, I know how hard it can be to find compassionate care for the ones that you love the most. So I started Decision Critical, a premier concierge nursing agency, so we can take care of you wherever you are. Our highly skilled nurses provide exceptional care from the comfort of your own home with personalized packages for short-term, long-term, or even around-the-clock care. Visit us at decisioncriticalbr.com and give us a call today to get started.
I'm lawyer Collins Locke Meredith. Among the most important factors to consider when you're hiring an injury attorney is trust. You trust your attorney will put your interest first, treat you with respect, fairness, and honesty. You trust them to be there for you when you need them. At Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, thousands of clients have trusted us to represent them, and for good reasons. Please visit us at LockeMeredith.com to learn more, and whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555. You have nothing to lose.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs, set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free, confidential help now.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and cool the crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Nicely done, ice cubes.
This is the Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Sagrera Farms.
Thursday show is brought to you by Sagrera Farms Premium Angus Beef. I just saw a tweet, Jordan. Tweets from an account called SEC Unfiltered. Usually pretty good content.
Yep.
Said, tonight we are all capital rebels.
Ain't no way I would ever say that.
It's incorrect.
Yeah, incorrect.
In fact, we're not all rebels. There are some rebels. No. Some people are rebels. Some people are not.
No.
And I'm not.
No. It's all about the you, baby.
I'm a little nervous, got to be honest.
I hate...
Like, this one to me means even more than, like, Saban winning number 4, 5, 6.
Really?
Like, Saban's first one, when Colt McCoy got hurt, like, I was all in on Texas. Like, keep Saban out of winning a national championship. No chance. And then he won again. And it's finally like, well, what? Who cares? Like, what's the difference between 4 and 7? I don't give a darn. I've lost that war. Ole Miss cannot get to the national final. I will be mortified if that happens.
I think mortified is the correct word. I just think the whole city of Baton Rouge will, like, flip upside down.
My dad asked me this morning, he said, who's pulling for Miami more? Miami fans, Mississippi State fans, or LSU fans? And I thought about it, and I was like, I honestly think the answer is Mississippi State fans. I don't think there are any Miami fans. Like, this will be a road game for Miami, just like the one in College Station was and just like the one in Dallas was. It'll be a road game. They don't have any fans. Certainly not anything they're going to travel across the country. Like, if they played in the Orange Bowl for the national championship, I think they would have some fans there. They're not going to travel. They don't travel to Omaha. They're not traveling. But Mississippi State fans, they cannot have this. Like, at least if Ole Miss wins the national title this year, I can lay in my bed of 3 natties and my 8 baseball championships and be like, it's okay. Like, it wasn't great, but it's okay. Mississippi State will just be sitting there like, huh?
Yeah.
We've won 1 conference game in 4 years, and you just won a national title, which no one truly in the state of Mississippi was really going to forecast as of 5 years ago. They can't have that.
I'm just sick to my stomach. Just thinking about that. The fact that Ole Miss could, and you know what's funny, Hunt? I was in the same situation last year because if you remember, Notre Dame had an opportunity to win the national championship, and that whole Brian Kelly left Notre Dame and Notre Dame did it without him. So it's like, why, as an LSU fan, am I sitting here and in the same situation a year later?
This would be worse to me. So let's talk about it. I did a lot of research on this game, which usually means I'll call it wrong. But Ole Miss is catching 3 points. It starts with Ruben Bain and Akeem Mesidor, obviously. Their numbers are absurd. Y'all have watched these games, but even putting it down to paper, in 2 games, 2 playoff games, against really good teams, Texas A&M and Ohio State, 10 tackles, 6.5 TFLs, 4 sacks, and get this, 16 pressures in 2 games. That's absurd. Akeem Mesidor, 12 tackles, 3.5 TFLs, 3.5 sacks, 11 pressures. They have combined for 27 pressures in 2 games. That's absurd. And they're going to have to be the key for Miami in this game. Now, Ole Miss has allowed the fewest sacks in the SEC, even with playing 2 more games than everyone, except playing the same amount as Georgia. They've been really good at 1, pass protection, and 2, getting the ball out quickly. Plus, Chambliss runs for his life and is great at that. So, can Miami get home? My solace in this is that Ohio State has allowed fewer sacks than Ole Miss this year, and Miami got home against them. So, if Miami's defensive line does not dominate this game, Ole Miss is going to win. Like, they're going to win. Miami's defensive line has to dominate for Miami to even have a chance to win. Now, the good news is it's dominated A&M and Ohio State. So there is reason to believe, good reason to believe, that will happen again. But we'll see. For Ole Miss, against this hellacious defensive front, you don't want to give them 14 snaps on a drive to do something drastic, to get a strip sack, to put you way behind the chains, to tee off on 3rd down. You want to hit chunk plays. And Ole Miss is the best chunk play offense in the country. And I say that very disappointed that that's the case for tonight, but also in the back of my mind going, my coach did that. He did that. But in 20-plus yard pass plays, Ole Miss has 70 of them in 14 games. Now, Miami's top 30 in the country in not allowing them, and they lead the ACC in not allowing them. Ohio State against Miami, their long pass was a 59-yarder to Jeremiah Smith, but beyond that, they didn't have much, and their long run was 18. So, can Ole Miss create chunk plays, and can they run the ball? They gave the ball to Kejuan Lacey 22 times against Georgia, and he fought and fought and fought for 98 yards and 2 touchdowns. It wasn't a consistent, steady onslaught. Like, sometimes Ole Miss gets that run game cooking. They get that tempo going. They get Lacey going, and it's just lights out. And that never happened against Georgia, but they did enough to stay on schedule, to score in the red zone, and to be competent on offense. It comes down to the defensive push, I think, and then what Chambliss is able to do going nuts. Miami's done a good job forcing turnovers. They've created short fields for their offense. Chambliss has not thrown an interception since the Florida game, which was in the middle of November the 15th. The last time he threw an interception. So it's good on good. Ole Miss's offense is excellent. Miami's defense is excellent. You heard J.D. Pickell say yesterday that he thinks that Miami's corners are better than Georgia's corners. We'll see, but it's good on good for that for sure. Now, Miami's offense, I don't think is very good. I think their defense is awesome. I don't think their offense is very good. They got to give the ball to Fletcher. I talked about this going into the Ohio State game. They've got to give Fletcher the ball and see if he can run it. Now, Ole Miss's run defense has been gashed at times. Georgia got after him in Athens. Mississippi State actually ran for a lot of yards on him. Now, that game wasn't that close, but they've got on the ground a little bit. But they did a good job against Georgia's ground game. Like, Georgia ran for 221 in Athens. They ran for 124 on 3.5 yards per carry in New Orleans. And if Ole Miss can stop the run, like, I don't trust Carson Beck to go win the game. But if Mark Fletcher does what he did in the second half against A&M and did a little bit against Ohio State, he's got a great defense, then, especially if they've got good field position, that'll be fine. Miami is also not going to go down the field consistently. I don't see that. They don't hit a lot of big plays. They're the least explosive team left. And their quarterback is a good player. I can't get the 4 interceptions against Louisville out of my brain. And throwing an interception at the worst time could be a big issue. As I handicap this thing, and y'all know my handicapping record, it is quite poor. So I don't purport to anything else. But the path here for Miami is kind of one-fold. It's dominate up front on defense and run the ball with Fletcher. If they don't dominate on front on defense and Lacey gets going and Ole Miss gets the tempo going and they hit some big plays, like lights out. If Ole Miss scores 30 points in this game, they're going to win. So Miami's got kind of one path. Dominate defensive front, which is awesome. Dominated the last 2 games and run the ball. Ole Miss has Chambliss, the running game, and their defense has played better. Plus, Beck can turn the ball over. Chambliss hadn't really turned it over. Beck will. I think Ole Miss has more ways to win this game. The most predictable way for Miami to win is maybe the most predictable outcome. Because if you watched Miami and Texas A&M and you watched Miami and Ohio State, you know how good that defensive front is. So the way I handicap it is Ole Miss has more ways to win. Miami has maybe the most likely way to win. And I think that's why they're a 3-point favorite. Here's a thing that is completely stupid for me to talk about because it's not real. But Ole Miss, and maybe it's because I was in the building in the Superdome. That probably has something to do with it. I'm guessing, I didn't watch it on TV, so I can't know. I'm guessing it felt different in the Dome than it felt watching on TV. Ole Miss just felt like chip on our shoulder, us against the world, team of destiny, watch this, we're playing a blue blood, we're going to get after them with the D2 quarterback and our interim head coach. And like it just felt like that. After Georgia ran that fumble back, it just felt like that. And if it feels like that again tonight, like it's a nothing. It's not a real tangible thing. It just feels like that, right? I'm going to take Ole Miss to cover. I'm hoping that's a reverse jinx. That's my hope. If they lose tonight, I can watch the last 2 games of the college football playoff in complete bliss. I don't care if Oregon wins a championship. I don't care if Indiana wins a championship. I don't care if Miami wins a championship. They all have good teams. Go get them. I can't wait to watch. If Ole Miss is still alive, I'm going to be miserable. I don't want them to win this. It is so petty. It is so small. It is so pathetic, and I can't help myself. They're taking jabs at my new coach, taking jabs at LSU. They're all high and mighty on Twitter. I might have to unfollow all the Ole Miss things I follow for like 3 weeks if they get this done. I don't want to do that. It takes time and effort. I'd rather just watch them in misery. Come on, Bain. Come on, Mesidor. Get some sacks. Get in the backfield. Get after this quarterback. Stop this offense. Run the ball down their throats. Beat them in the desert in front of all their what's that color they're looking for? They're looking for powder. All their powder-clad fans. And let's just get it over with. I don't want to see Ole Miss in this spot ever again in my entire life. That's my hope.
I feel the same way, and I feel that Miami's, like you said, they don't have many ways to victory. They have to do this one simple thing that Georgia tried to do, but they couldn't complete it. You have to punk Ole Miss. They literally have to go out there and the same way what they did Texas A&M and basically shove them in the locker and just say, you know what? Y'all are not going to get this done. We're going to get this done. They have to do that to Ole Miss.
It's going to be a road game for them, but I take solace in the fact that Miami literally went on the road against A&M in one of the most hostile environments in the country, and then played a road game against Ohio State and beat them too. So I'm not that worried. There's not going to be Ole Miss is not going to fill that stadium in Phoenix. They're going to bring a lot of people, but between going to New Orleans and then their potential trip to, is it Miami to win the title? I think it is. Yeah, it is Miami to win the title. Oh, Miami would have a lot of folks there. So, Miami would if they got there. So I hope they do. But, I'm picking Ole Miss 34, Miami 20. That's my pick. Just based on my track record this year, that feels like the right pick to make.
Well, you're right. I understand the track record because I was going to be like, Hunt, if Ole Miss put up 34, we're in trouble. I don't think Miami got 30. Yeah, I'm about to say they don't got 34. And this got to be a old school, just nasty. Miami just punched them in the mouth. It's got to be like a 13-10 just slug, nasty. Keywan Lacey gets shut down. Trinidad's scrambling for us, even though you kind of don't want him running around.
You don't. Yeah, you know how you have Pylon Cam, you have Sky Cam, you have all the different cams. Give me an Irvin Cam tonight.
Oh, Michael,
give me an Irvin Cam tonight. Yes. And I need that belt coming off after the game's over.
See, I need that, and I need him to put a nice Trinidad jersey on a trash can and just whoop it, please.
Irvin's in his prime right now. Love to see it. All right, let's come back and close the hour. I got a question, and I may have an answer. We'll see next.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
First American Bank and Trust started up 1910, still here 116 years later. No matter where you are in Southeast Louisiana, there is a First American Bank and Trust near you. I've talked to you about it constantly. Down there, river parishes, St. James, St. John, Lafourche, Terrebonne, even further south, even up on I-12, St. Tammany, Tangipahoa. They got you covered in Hammond as well. Dutchtown, Jones Creek, around Baton Rouge. First American Bank and Trust. Why do business with them? Because they've got the resources to get that commercial loan done. They got 25 locations. They've also got that community feel that you're looking for in a bank. The last thing you want to do is get on the phone and call somebody that's in Seattle, has no idea what you're looking for or who you are, to try to answer your question. Walk in and talk to somebody who's in your community. Understand that every decision that First American Bank and Trust makes is made right here in Southeast Louisiana. The people that you do business with at First American Bank and Trust, the people you go to church with, people your kids go to school with. That's what you get in terms of customer service and relationships at First American Bank and Trust. So stop in and see that bank nearest you and do your banking, commercial loans, residential loans with First American Bank and Trust.
I'm Lawyer Locke Meredith. We are honored and humbled to receive from our clients in Google. Based on 5-star client reviews, the designation of our law firm is highly recommended. Whether you hire us at all, please give us a call, 272-5555. You have nothing to lose.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith. Injuries happen when you least expect them to, making your life more complicated. At Locke Meredith Sean Fagan and Associates, we know this and we strive to help each of our clients during these times. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555.
This new year, Hood Dental wants you smiling bigger and healthier than ever. New patients can get a healthy gums cleaning for just $89, plus a free exam and full mouth x-rays, a $376 value. With over 3,000 5-star Google reviews, 5 local locations, and easy online scheduling with same-day care, Hood Dental makes it simple to get started. And for January only, save 15% up to $150 on restorative treatment. Schedule today at hooddentalcare.com.
South Louisiana, it's turnaround season, and River Parish Contractors is calling in the best of the best. We're hiring pipe fitters, iron workers, boiler makers, combo and structural welders, rig welders, carpenters, crane operators, dirt operators, and more. If you're ready to work, ready to earn, and ready to build something that lasts, call Big Jake at 318-547-1000 or go to rpcontractors.com. River Parish Contractors. Let's get building.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. Propane water heaters are very cost efficient, and the savings are even greater with a tankless propane water heater. We all know that Louisiana propane is a safe and environmentally friendly fuel. So why not go green while you save some green? I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and for more information, visit louisianapropane.com.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
These are the luckiest ice cubes in the world. They could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they've been called upon to cradle and cool a crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Looks like the lucky just got luckier.
You're listening to The Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Sagrera Farms.
Shout out to Sagrera Farms, bringing our Thursday shows. Jordan, if I tell you, blue blood SEC program.
Yep.
Truckload of national championships, proud fan base.
Yep.
Second-year coach who might be in some trouble. Who are we thinking?
Second-year coach who might be in some trouble. Blue blood. We talking football, basketball?
I just said what I said. Second-year coach, blue blood, tons of national championships, might be in trouble.
Tons of national championships might be in trouble. I know it can't be Coach Cal.
This coach doesn't have a lot of national championships. This program has a lot of national championships. This coach is in his second year. He does not have a national championship, and he might be in some trouble.
It can't be Auburn, huh?
Thought you were looking at Kalen DeBoer there from Alabama, but that's not who I was talking about. Mark Pope at Kentucky has problems on the basketball court.
Okay, I've heard Kentucky's not good this year.
Kentucky is 9-6. They are 0-2 in the SEC for the first time since Tubby Smith was the head coach. And they had a 8-point lead with 4 minutes to go at home at Rupp last night and lost by 5 to Missouri.
Holy smokes.
And the natives are restless. Now, this is not your 9-6 can be two different things. Like, you could be 9-6 losing to teams in the Southland Conference. They lost to Louisville, Michigan State, North Carolina, Gonzaga, Alabama. That's 5.
Yeah.
They're all ranked at the time. All ranked in the top 20 at the time. And then they lost to Missouri. But they're bad by Kentucky standards. And that's just not going to fly. And they brought Mark Pope in to revitalize a stale brand with Calipari, and that stale brand was getting to the tournament every year and losing in the second round maybe and not being a top seed. Pope comes in. They got to Sweet 16 last year, but this year they went and spent $22 million.
Yep.
$22 million, and they are 9-6. And I listened to a Kentucky postgame show last night just kind of see what the pulse was. They're out. They don't think they're making the tournament, and I wouldn't talk about this if this was Auburn's coach or A&M's coach or Tennessee's coach. Kentucky's coach is interesting to me, and they made a change, and it is not working. Now, LSU plays them coming up next week, so we'll talk about that next week. But Mark Pope in a little bit of trouble. Quick hour one. Quick hour one. We'll transition to LSU football, some Saints as well. We'll get into hour 2 on this Thursday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Love telling you about my friends at Fabry Chevrolet GMC. Fabry Chevrolet GMC. New owners of the Fabry Chevrolet GMC store. Well, the GMC Chevrolet store in St. Francisville on Highway 61. It is the Fabry family. You know the Fabry family. They've had 3 locations, 5 brands. They've been doing business in the Baton Rouge area for 35 years, and they are fired up to have taken ownership of the Chevrolet GMC dealership in St. Francisville. Got a huge inventory of new and pre-owned Chevys and GMCs. If you're looking for an SUV, how about a Tahoe? How about a Sierra for the GMCs? How about a Yukon or a Denali, the GMCs? Looking for a truck? What about a Silverado? They've got them in St. Francisville. You can look at the entire inventory online at FabryChevrolet.com or make that quick drive up to St. Francisville. You know when you're dealing with the Fabry family, you're going to get incredible buying experience, great customer service, and you won't regret making that trip up to St. Francisville to see Fabry Chevrolet GMC. Check them out online at FabryChevrolet.com.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and cool the crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Nicely done, ice cubes.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
I'm Lawyer Locke Meredith. If you're battling an insurance company because of a wreck not your fault and they're not calling you back or being fair, whether you hire us at all, give us a call, 272-5555, or email Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan & Associates. You have nothing to lose.
Hello, I'm Collins Meredith. If you've been injured on the job, you'll likely have a workers' compensation claim, but you may also have a tort claim which opens up significant recovery rights not normally available for a work injury. If this is you, call us or come see us at Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan & Associates.
South Louisiana, it's turnaround season, and River Parish Contractors is calling in the best of the best. We're hiring pipe fitters, iron workers, boiler makers, combo and structural welders, rig welders, carpenters, crane operators, dirt operators, and more. If you're ready to work, ready to earn, and ready to build something that lasts, call Big Jake at 318-547-1000 or go to rpcontractors.com. River Parish Contractors. Let's get building.
This new year, Hood Dental wants you smiling bigger and healthier than ever. New patients can get a healthy gums cleaning for just $89, plus a free exam and full mouth x-rays, a $376 value. With over 3,000 5-star Google reviews, 5 local locations, and easy online scheduling with same-day care, Hood Dental makes it simple to get started. And for January only, save 15% up to $150 on restorative treatment. Schedule today at hooddentalcare.com.
We typically think of stress as being bad for us. At Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, we are researching how certain types of stress, such as exercise, can be good for our immune health. By studying people under extreme stress, such as athletes, astronauts, service members, and first responders, we're learning how to improve the immune health of everyone. That's the power of research. That's the impact of champions. Together, we roar.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Nick DeLuca. The NFL's coaching carousel continuing to spin. The Dolphins firing head coach Mike McDaniel after 4 seasons with the team. Miami finishing 7-10 in 2025, their second consecutive losing season after reaching the playoffs in each of McDaniel's first 2 years. Dolphins led the NFL in total offense in 2023. Team fired GM Chris Blair during the season. They're hopeful to make a hire by the end of the week. New general manager will be involved in the head coach hiring process. Meanwhile, the Bucs making several changes to their coaching staff, headlined by firing first-year offensive coordinator Josh Grizzard. Tampa finished 21st in total offense. Bucs senior offensive consultant Tom Moore retired after 62 years of coaching today at age 87. College football CFP semis begin tonight at the Verbo Fiesta Bowl. Number 6 Ole Miss, number 10 Miami, with the trip to the national title game on the line. Coverage beginning at 7 Eastern right here on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. Miami, a 3-point favorite on DraftKings.
Hey, it's Michelle Smallman. Coming up Friday, Josh Allen versus Trevor Lawrence, Drake May versus Justin Herbert. Is the AFC about to usher in a new era of quarterback rivalries? We'll talk about it on Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern, right here on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Now, the Hunt Palmer Show.
A magic beyond anything you could ever imagine.
You are now listening to the Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Sagrera Farms on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Locking down the middle of the day.
You really think that's the best idea?
Live from the Raising Cane studio, this is Hunt Palmer.
It's quite a piece of work.
Hour 2, Thursday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Sagrera Farms, premium Angus beef. We'll talk to Chris Blair. A little bit of hoops, a little bit of football coming up in 15 minutes. Looking forward to that conversation. I'm considering a 2:30 segment. It's percolating. I've got that open for some transfer portal news, and there is some. CJ Jackson just went in the portal. So I didn't want to lock myself into anything there. I'm considering a segment. We'll see how things go over the next 30 minutes. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But for right now, I want to talk LSU football. And I want to talk about something we all knew was coming. We all knew once LSU walked off that field in the Texas Bowl, which feels like 6 years ago, that LSU was now in a position where they had one quarterback on the roster that was not guaranteed to be there in the spring. And it turns out Michael Van Buren got in the portal. He just committed to South Florida?
Yeah, UCF.
Central Florida or South Florida?
USF.
South Florida,
yes,
yeah.
yes.
Either one. One of the two. One of the two huge schools in Orlando or Tampa. One of the ones over there, he's going. So LSU, as it sits right now, has no quarterbacks. None, zero, nada, zilch. Goose egg in the quarterback department. So you got to figure that out. Now, it starts with your prospective starter. That's the guy you're going to spend the big bucks on. That's the guy you're going to bring in with essentially assurances he will be the guy. They've been shopping that. You had Sorsby come in. You had Levitt come in. You're courting Williams. Rayola's out there somewhere. Seems like Lagway's going to Baylor. They're going to find somebody to throw $4 million at to bring to Baton Rouge. You want to say that's going to be Williams from Washington? Sure. You want to say that's somebody else down the line? Whatever. I'm not concerned in this discussion who it is. I just know what it is. It's the starting quarterback's going to get a lot of money. And then the challenge comes in of finding depth at that position with essentially assurances you're not going to start. Like, where are you going to find the guy to come in and say, hey, I know you're in this massive money-making portion of your life. College, for most of these guys, like, is it fair to say that most of the quarterbacks across the Power 5 are going to make more money in college than they do in the NFL? Most of them will, because most of them aren't going to sign a huge rookie NFL contract, and most of them are not, certainly most of them are not going to sign a second NFL contract that makes a ton of money. Like, most of these guys are in a 4 to 5 year window where they've got to make 6 figures or 7 figures to be on a college football team. That's a huge earning portion of their lifetime. And you have to tell somebody in that window, hey, come over here and probably don't play. So we'll give you this amount of money. I don't know what that is. And you're not really going to be able to show anybody that you're that good this year or that you've made improvements this year. And I can't promise what you're going to get next year. Like, that's a hard sell. So you got to find a place to find a player like that. I thought it was impressive last year that LSU was able to go get Michael Van Buren, who had proven, they didn't win any games, but he started SEC games. He threw for 300 yards against Georgia. Like, he was a true freshman. He was a competent SEC quarterback as a true freshman. And LSU got him to come here as a backup. Like, we got Nussmeier. He threw for 4,000. Come over here. Back him up. And if everything goes to plan, you'll sit on the bench all year, show nobody anything additional, and perhaps limit your ability to earn next year. Now, maybe you come to us, you show us in practice you can play, we give you some mop-up duty, we think we're going to be really good, we sit Nussmeier down for a little bit of that, you show us you're going to be good, and we renegotiate that contract next year, and maybe you make a lot of money from us. But still, that's a hard sell. There's a lot of variables there. And LSU was able to do that with Michael Van Buren. Well, now LSU's got to do it again, very likely. And so where do you go for that player, or really those players? Because you're telling me you're going to go into this year with 2 scholarship quarterbacks? I don't think so. Like, I've never seen an LSU team go into a season with 2 scholarship quarterbacks. So we found out today, based on his Twitter account, and we confirmed it at LouisianaSports.net, that LSU's looking at junior college ranks for depth at quarterback. Trey Guerra or Guerra, I couldn't find it. It's Guerra. I'm going to go with Guerra. Could be Guerra, but I'll go with Guerra. Is the quarterback at Tyler Junior College. He's been there for a couple of years. 24/7 Sports has a junior college rankings. They rank him the number 2 quarterback in the class for the junior college ranks. In 2 years, as the primary starter for only one of those, 3,800 passing yards, 29 touchdowns. Big number coming here. 16 interceptions. He threw 14 interceptions this year at the junior college level. But he's 6'2", he's 200 pounds, he's a pretty good athlete. He threw for a ton of yards at Tyler Junior College. And he's been offered by LSU, he's been offered by Florida State, he's been offered by Arkansas, he's been offered by Texas Tech. It looks like he's going to make the jump to the Power 5, and LSU is potentially in the mix. So I think this is creative. I think it's a reasonable move. I don't think you can go get 2 guys with Power 5 starting experience or FBS starting experience that are just chomping at the bit to come here. I think LSU can compete with almost anybody for one guy. Maybe they got outbid for Sorsby. Maybe the fact that his girlfriend was there was a big factor too. I don't know. But I think they could have paid Sam Leavitt. I think that if they get DeMond Williams, it'll be because they paid. They have the resources to pay for the big boy. Where are the resources for the next guy? And this is creative. And before you jump out over your skis, because this is what everybody really likes to do, Lane Kiffin's not going to make a career at LSU off of grabbing Trinidad Chamblises from JUCO and D2. That's not a sustainable model. I'm not suggesting it's impossible for him to find another diamond in the rough. I think he's brilliant with quarterbacks, brilliant with play calling, makes things very advantageous for his quarterbacks. But you can't go, quote-unquote, dumpster diving, and I don't mean that to denigrate, but like most of the big-time programs are not going to D2 for their quarterbacks, okay? I would call that as a metaphor like dumpster diving. That's not how you're going to do it. And those of you that are jumping immediately on every quarterback that LSU might have entertained And those of you that are suggesting that LSU doesn't need to get Sam Levitt or need to get Damon Williams, because, I mean, look what he did with Trinidad Chambliss. Just go find another one of those. That's very difficult to do. And candidly, like, it can't be done every year. I don't think there's a D2 quarterback every single year that could come in and take over a CFP game against Georgia. That's just not realistic. Yes, there are guys, there are Tony Romos and Kurt Warners. There are guys, Ben Roethlisberger's from a lower level and Josh Allen's, and there are those guys. They don't come around every year. You're not going to make it a sustainable model to make that happen. But if you can land Damon Williams and you can land a big-time quarterback and you can get a JUCO guy and maybe a guy with some upside from the group of five or even the FCS, like that may be how you have to cobble this thing together and just hope your quarterback stays healthy. Because I don't know how realistic grabbing two high-profile portal quarterbacks is. I haven't seen teams do that significantly. So I think this is a quality place to look, and I think it's just a flimsy insurance policy. You're not going to be made whole if you get Damon Williams and he gets hurt and you got to plug in a JUCO quarterback who threw a bunch of interceptions last year but a bunch of yards. Like, that's not you're not made whole from insurance policy there, but you get paid back something. You got somebody there that can play. And so I'm fully supporting this. I think it's a good idea. I hope that LSU can land him. Sounds like he's got some options. I don't know what the visit schedule looks like, but this is something that we saw on Twitter. We checked out, and it looks like that's the direction LSU is going to look for what I believe to be its second or third team quarterback, and that is Trey Guerra from Tyler Junior College, who tweeted out that the old Toonces logo said offered by LSU. We'll see if he has his stats. 15-2 as a starter in 2 seasons, 11-1 this past year. These are his statistics. I did not look this up, but he said number 1 in completions in JUCO, number 2 in passing yards, number 3 in passing touchdowns. I watched a little bit of the tape. Pretty good athlete, pretty good arm, not great size, but decent size. If it's a backup, I think it's a good idea. So that's Trey Guerra from Tyler Junior College. All right, we'll talk some hoops and certainly some football with Chris Blair, voice of the Tigers, when we come back.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Swing Easy Golf Club in Baton Rouge. SwingEasyGCBR.com is the website. Want to go play some golf, but you find that 5 hours is too much time to invest. You find that it's hard to get a tee time, lack of public courses maybe. You find that you're holding up the course because you're a beginner. You find that, it's rainy or it's cold or it's wet. You find there's just too many obstacles to get out there and play 18 holes of golf. Try something new. Try Swing Easy Golf Club. You go in there, you get your own private bay with a simulator, and you can play one of the most historic courses in the country, one of the most historic courses in the world. Go over to Troon and play where they play the Open Championship. And I've played on these. I've played a lot of golf in my life. I've played on the golf simulator. It's fun. Is it exactly the same? No. But you hit your drive, and it knows what's going on. You hit your second shot, and it knows whether you've hit a good one or not. You can chip and putt as well. You can post a score, compete with your friends, drink a couple of beers, put the music on, put some football on the TV. It's a lot of fun. Go by and see them. If you've never played simulator golf, just give it a shot. Could be a scratch player. Could be somebody that just picked up the game. It's a different way to approach the game of golf. Swing Easy Golf Club. It's on Seagan near Perkins, back in the strip mall all the way to the right side. Easy to see. Great place to hang out. Go see them this weekend. Swing Easy Golf Club in Baton Rouge. Online, SwingEasyGCBR.com.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith with Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan & Associates. We take great pride in educating our clients about their rights. Whether you're injured at work or while you drive, call our office at 272-5555. Knowledge is power, and you should know your rights after an injury.
Hi, I'm Sean Fagan of Locke Meredith, Sean Fagan & Associates. When insurance companies have been unfair, we've never been afraid to go to trial.
Fighting hard to protect your rights, we never settle a case out of convenience. We only settle when it's right for you. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call.
I'm Gabrielle McLeod on behalf of the Louisiana Propane Dealers. I have spent hundreds of hours preparing for scholarship competitions. That preparation paid off when I won the Fitness and Talent Awards along with the title of Miss Louisiana. The Louisiana Propane Dealers are also pretty talented and want you to be prepared for when the power goes out. Visit louisianapropane.com to find out about propane generators and other safety tips. Louisiana Propane, it truly is the fuel for our future.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
After a decade of working in private duty nursing, I know how hard it can be to find compassionate care for the ones that you love the most. So I started Decision Critical, a premier concierge nursing agency, so we can take care of you wherever you are. Our highly skilled nurses provide exceptional care from the comfort of your own home with personalized packages for short-term, long-term, or even around-the-clock care. Visit us at decisioncriticalbr.com and give us a call today to get started.
Supreme Jasmine is premium American-grown rice.
You're listening to The Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Sagrera Farms.
Sagrera Farms Premium Angus Beef, looking for fillets, ribeyes, strips, flank steaks, chuck roasts, ground beef. They got it all at Sagrera Farms, and it is all prime. Some of the best beef you'll find in the country, just north of Baton Rouge here at Sagrera Farms. They bring you our Thursday shows. Chris Blair is the voice of the Tigers, joins us on Thursdays. Gives us some time now on the Jim's Firearms Hotline. Chris, how are you, sir?
I'm great, Hunt. Hope you're doing well, and hope 2026 is off to a good start.
It certainly is. LSU doesn't seem to get off to a good start on defense on the basketball court as often as I would like. Is there anything that you can do from press row to stop teams from going 7 for 7 from three right out of the gate?
No, I thought about it, but I don't think my defense is going to help much anymore. It was certainly, something to behold. I mean, it was kind of interesting. I know it doesn't make anybody happy that pulls for LSU, but you come off a game against Texas A&M, who has that controlled chaos buckyball under Coach McMillan, where they're trying their best to put 30 or 35 threes up, and they're hoping, they hit 35%. They're probably en route to victory. We saw a little bit of that in the nail biter against Auburn the other night. And then you come into South Carolina, a team that really, for the most part, when you look at the SEC and non-conference, you thought maybe they struggle at times to produce offense. In their 5 losses, they certainly had struggled to produce offense, and suddenly they come in and can't miss for the first, 6-7 minutes of the first half. And suddenly you dig yourself in a big hole. I thought LSU played really good defense against Texas A&M. I did not think they played very good defense in the first 10, 12 minutes of the first half against the South Carolina team that, frankly, I thought you get a performance like you did in Bryan College Station from a defensive standpoint, and then the offense just does what you normally do. I saw LSU pulling away in that one. So it goes to show you what I know.
What do they need to do with DJ Thomas out? I know in the second half, a lot of the onus was not on Jalen Reese. He was out, and they actually went to a bigger lineup. So how do you think they're going to try to create offense without their facilitator out there? Rashad King was running the point for most of the second half on Tuesday.
Well, I think they've got even a bigger problem than that, Hunt, to be honest with you. I mean, I like, to be honest, in conference play, I think Jalen Reese has got a lot of great upside, and I think he played well in his first start at Texas A&M. I know everything gets magnified in that final 3 or 4 minutes where he had a couple of big turnovers in the backcourt, but, I mean, he only had 3 turnovers on the day and had 7 assists, and for a first start, in the SEC as a true freshman. Frankly, I'll take that. But I think moving forward, I think you got to go with Rashad King, and a lot of that is just because of his game experience. Now, obviously, he's new to the SEC, and there's going to be a learning curve there, but he's got a little bigger size. He can probably match up a little better physically with at least some of the point guards they're going to see without question coming up on Saturday. But he's going to have to improve defensively. But I think you're going to have to use both of those guys. But I get a little nervous, when you're taking on a team. For my money, I said preseason that Vanderbilt was the best team in the league, and so far they've lived up to it, including last night's win against Alabama. I like Rashad King getting minutes, but I think you're going to better yourself as a team as this season gets deeper when Jalen Reese is getting that experience on the job.
You've got some experience with Mark Byington, who's Vanderbilt's head coach. You obviously called this, you said, before things started, so you're not surprised that he's got this thing humming in year number 2?
No. I mean, when I was at Georgia Southern with him, he was there 7 years, I believe, and I worked with him for 5. And, he made chicken stew out of chicken, what. And that's no disrespect to Georgia Southern. It's just a program that, A, doesn't have a large athletic budget, and B, what they do have, not a lot of it goes to men's basketball. And I could tell then that he was a grinder. He was a worker. He was a great offensive mind. Came up under Bobby Crimmins, and Bobby Crimmins, for those who remember, certainly knew how to put some offense together. And now that he's at Vanderbilt and the Commodores, just like in football, have decided, we're going to put money into this program. They were one of the leaders last year when it comes to NIL money and a roster. Which I know surprised a lot of people, but that's the facts. And they've only built on it this year. And you can look at their individual stars so far this year and figure out, they've got it going in the right direction. So now it's just a matter of him being able to get that type of athlete, whether it be through the portal, whether it be developing 2 or 3 true freshmen every year. But he's an excellent coach. And I just read an article earlier today. He's quickly becoming the SEC coaching superstar. And I think that bothered a guy in Tuscaloosa a little bit this week.
I hate to hear that. Hate to hear that Coach Oates is bothered. I never want to have that. That's very disappointing. I'm curious, LSU, from a football perspective, has prioritized some of their younger players, and you're going to get Harlan Berry, Trey'Dez Green, DJ Pickett back on this football team next year. How big a deal is that for Lane Kiffin in year 1?
Yeah, I think it's good. I mean, I think that's the skill positions that you felt like had proven themselves already, with a lot, again, ceiling ahead of them. And again, I think, when Coach Kiffin comes in and looks at the players that he wants to keep, and then we early find out in this process that those are the names that right now are staying at LSU. I mean, I think that tells you what Coach Kiffin, realizes, having seen those guys on the other side of the field, and also being around them a little bit as people now that he's here in Baton Rouge. So I think that's good. I mean, now you got to go find some more skilled players, obviously, and we've seen a couple of names over the last couple of days in that department. And then you got to go find some guys who fit the program and who are going to fit in what you're trying to do, both offensively and defensively. And I think that's the other asset of keeping Coach Baker and a number of these defensive coaches. I mean, let's all be honest now. Are we where we want to be defensively? Probably not. But are we light years ahead of where we were a year ago and 2 years ago? I would say yes. I think by keeping some of those core offensive guys and then being able to go backfill out of the portal, which, again, I think Coach Kiffin and his staff are just getting warmed up with a little more time left. I know there were some that thought maybe they didn't come out of the gate too strong, but that's not the point. The point is, how do you finish?
I was kind of done with portal talk when I went on my run this morning, so I said, let me fire up Kentucky's post-game show from basketball last night. Now you've got some contacts on the Bluegrass. How are the vibes there with a 9-6 basketball team?
Well, I'm sure everybody out there listening understands that they do pay very close attention to the basketball program there in the Commonwealth State. And I didn't see a lot of the game last night. I saw a little bit of the second half after I got home. Watched all of the Alabama-Vanderbilt game, but my phone was absolutely blowing up. And I will tell you that already a year and I guess technically half, they're ready to send Mark Pope packing, which is, again, crazy and wild. I know that sounds strange, not only because he's only been there a year and a half and that he was a much beloved player there years ago under Coach Pitino, but I think it's the way that Kentucky looks so discombobulated. They look like they're fighting each other at times. There were a couple of times last night Missouri was flying up and down the floor, and as if Kentucky's players didn't really know the dimensions of the court or where they were supposed to be, or that you need to be under the basket to defend. And so, yeah, it's they're not very happy up there in the Commonwealth right now.
Need to get Kalen DeBoer and Mark Pope hooked up on a group text and let them just communicate back and forth, because it seems like they're in pretty similar boats in Lexington and Tuscaloosa.
Oh, their body language looks very similar, I'll tell you that.
All right, Chris, safe travels up to Nashville, and we'll talk next week.
You got it.
That's Chris Blair, the voice of the Tigers. LSU and Vanderbilt from Nashville coming up on Saturday. Vanderbilt's really good. They are very, very good. They outran Alabama, outshot Alabama, outplayed Alabama last night, and Bama's really good. So it's a really good roster. Byington's a really good coach, and they're probably the best team in the league. I think last night probably proves they're the best team in the league right now. It doesn't mean they'll be the best team in the league when the middle of March comes around, but they're serious, and that's why I told y'all, like, Tuesday was so important for LSU to get a win before you go to Nashville and take on that Vanderbilt team, because I don't think they're going to beat Vanderbilt. Now, I feel a little bit differently about Kentucky today than I did yesterday when I talked about the LSU-South Carolina game, because Kentucky lost at Rupp to Missouri, who I think is fine, but they're not really good, and Missouri was down 8 with 4 minutes to go and outscored them 12-2 or something, 15-2 the rest of the way. Kentucky, as I mentioned, 9-6 and is a little bit discombobulated. That game is in the PMAC, so maybe if De'Don Thomas comes back, maybe you are a little bit. You can compete with Kentucky. I don't know, but it's not. I wasn't concerned with Kentucky when they lost to Bama. That's going to happen. It's in Tuscaloosa, full house. You lose that game, it happens. Most teams are going to go to Tuscaloosa and lose. You lose to Missouri at Rupp, I feel differently about that now. Because like I told you in the end of the first hour, like Kentucky's got a bunch of losses to Gonzaga and Louisville and really good teams. North Carolina, they lose to Bama, okay. Missouri, not in that class. So maybe that's a good sign for LSU coming up next Wednesday. I'll be in the PMAC for that one. Hopefully LSU can play pretty well, but I don't think LSU's going to win on Saturday. That's my early pick on that one. We'll talk about it a little bit tomorrow. LSU has had 2 defensive linemen go into the transfer portal in the last hour and a half. I will tell you who those 2 are and kind of reset things from a portal perspective moving forward. Do all that when we come back on this Thursday edition of the Hunt Palmer Show.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Marucci here in Baton Rouge, the official bat of Major League Baseball. Incredible story. Started in a backyard shed in 2004. Now, 22 years later, official bat of Major League Baseball. They make 1,200 of them a day. If you're looking for something to do in Baton Rouge and you've done all the traditional sights and sounds, taking the kids to see Mike the Tiger or go over to Blue Bayou or whatever the case, maybe how about you schedule a tour, go check out Marucci. Go see where they make 1,200 bats a day. And it's not just going to see where they make the bats. You can go in there and take some hacks in the cage. Got a young baseball player, got a young softball player, got a young baseball team that your son is a part of, a young softball team that your daughter's a part of. Take the team over there to tour the facility and take some hacks. They'd love to have you over there at Marucci. You can get the campus tour at maruccisports.com. Click on campus tour there on the website. They would love to have you for a big group, individually, have a team building event there for your office. Whatever the case may be, Marucci would love to have you there. It's a really cool gym that we've got here in Baton Rouge, and if you hadn't seen it, it's worth your time. Go check them out at Marucci. They're online at maruccisports.com.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Lock Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates has won for our clients over $175 million over the decades, but our greatest success is our clients who have chosen and trusted us to help them. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call. You've got nothing to lose.
Hi, I'm Sean Fagan. If you get injured, you could be staring at medical bills, repair costs, and lost income. Life can be turned upside down. At Lock Meredith, Sean Fagan and Associates, we'll work to turn your world right side up. Hire us, and like thousands of our clients, you'll be glad you did.
My father, J.B. Falgu, had a vision of growth for First American Bank and the communities we serve. The bank's foundation was built on his legacy of compassion, loyalty, and dedication. Through his years of leadership, First American has prospered to heights even J.B. could not have imagined. I know my father would be extremely proud of the customer service and financial stability that First American provides to Southeast Louisiana. We continue to thrive because of the legacy of J.B. Falgu.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs. Set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free confidential help now.
You're listening to The Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Sagrera Farms.
Shout out to folks at the Howard Insurance Group. Jonathan Carbo and his team at the Howard Insurance Group. Just awesome people to work with in the insurance game. Whether you're looking for commercial property and casualty insurance, the Howard Insurance Group's got you. You're looking for a group or employee benefits broker, Howard Insurance Group got you covered. Think of them as a consultant. Don't think of them as a sales team. Somebody just trying to take advantage of you for a commission. The Howard Insurance Group, they want to be part of your team. Your attorney is part of your team. Your CPA is part of your team. Let your insurance broker be a part of your team. Make sure you're protected. When I say insurance, when I was in the business for 7 years, or whether I say it now, immediately the first thing that comes to most people's minds is premium, premium, premium. And certainly the Howland Insurance Group knows that. And they're going to take care of you from that perspective. They're going to make sure they shop and you get the right premium. But they also are going to prioritize the coverage. Because you don't know when that cyber attack is going to happen because your employee clicked an email he or she was not supposed to click. You don't know when that company car is going to get into that accident. You don't know when that hurricane is going to come through. Do you have the right business interruption coverage? Is your property valued correctly? Is there a co-insurance penalty that's going to hamper your ability to collect on that? These are things that you've got to have sewed up before the event happens. And the Howland Insurance Group will make sure that happens for your business. If you're an owner, CFO, risk manager, someone who is handling the insurance program, let the Howland Insurance Group make sure you're all buttoned up. If you're looking for a second set of eyes, they can help you out with that. It's Jonathan Carbo and his team at the Highland Insurance Group here in Baton Rouge. Help you out statewide. They're online at highlandig.com. We have got a tracker up at louisianasports.net. It's stayed on the homepage now all week, and it is just updating you on players that have announced they're staying, which there are a handful of those. It has announced the portal entrance. It has announced the portal additions that LSU has made. Plus, we've got a list of reported visitors and offers as well. So if you're just looking for somewhere to try to make sense of all this, you can do that over at louisianasports.net for free. What has happened over the last 2 hours has been that 2 LSU defensive linemen have entered the transfer portal. We saw right before I went on the air, Walter Buddy Mathis, after a really nice freshman year, jumped in the transfer portal. And then just 20 minutes ago, we got word that C.J. Jackson, edge rusher who just finished his freshman year, is headed into the portal as well. And this is not stunning news. It's not stunning news when anyone enters the transfer portal. Anyone can. There's money to be had, negotiations to be made. And so it's rampant. Like, it just is the rule. It's the way that it is. But it's puzzling to me as I look at it from a big picture perspective. This is really not an LSU thing. It's just a common sense thing. It's like, well, you had X amount of defensive linemen. You actually had some really good numbers there. Well, you Kyle Williams moves on. Okay, you got a new head coaching staff. Okay. So you look at your numbers, and LSU needs to restock those shelves a little bit. So they go get Stefan Green. They go get Malik Blockton, those two guys on the defensive interior to go along with Dominic McKinley and Buddy Mathis, Brandon Brown, Sean Washington. And then Buddy Mathis goes in the portal after you get those two guys. And then you go to the edge, and you add Jaylen Brown, guy that had been at Missouri, been at South Carolina, had a relationship with Sterling Lucas at South Carolina, comes to LSU, and you pair him with Gabe Relaford and C.J. Jackson and Damian Shanklin and Dylan Carpenter, and you're just now kind of getting to the point where you've got enough numbers on the defensive front. That was going to be a total of 6 defensive tackles. You had 5 edge rushers. You had 4 freshmen coming in. That's 15 guys. It's not enough, but it's you're getting close. And then right when you bring in 3 guys from the defensive front from Clemson, Auburn, and South Carolina, 2 of your young players see that and bolt. And it's like, well, I guess you get back after it and keep getting guys back in the portal. There's 4,000 of them. Just keep going. And I guess that's the way you have to handle things at this point. It's difficult. And I know that there are so many polarizing opinions on this topic. There are so many people that say this has ruined football. There are so many people that say we need to find some regulations. There are so many people that say, hey, let the players transfer. It's been great to a lot of different people, a lot of different players. These coaches make millions of dollars. They'll figure it out. And I've got my thoughts on it, and I'll probably save them for another day. I don't think this is the time and place for the whole dissertation on how I feel about the entire situation of not just football, but collegiate athletics as a whole. I will say, just in terms of LSU, because y'all know how I always feel about things. I always talk about how it affects LSU. Like, I do know that the transfer portal is going to help LSU more than it hurts LSU. LSU's a huge brand with tons of money. There are plenty of schools who you get a player that plays really well and wins games, you look around and go, well, don't play too well because then you're going to leave. Like, LSU doesn't generally have to worry about that. I mean, who was the last guy that was a star at LSU that bolted? Doesn't happen very often. But I do look at it and go, man, it's 236 right now, almost 237. And at 103, I did a segment about LSU's defensive line depth based on the 3 additions they had made in the last 24 hours. And now 90 minutes later, that whole segment is silly because 2 of the guys that I had penciled in here is really probably key pieces. Like, Buddy Mathis had a really good freshman year, relatively speaking. He was not one of LSU's highly thought of defensive line freshmen. But he did play. He played early. He played often. You had Bernard Gooden, and you had Jacobian Guillory, and you had Dominic McKinley, and you had Ahmad Bro, and you had Sean Washington, and you had older guys in front of him, and he got to the field quickly. C.J. Jackson's talented dude, edge rusher, long arms. And yeah, they brought in Patrick Payton and Jamari Butler, and they brought in Jack Pyburn, and they had I can't think of the name, Gabe Relaford, just vanished. Like, it was going to be tough to get to the field, but then they got to the Texas Bowl and he played a lot because all those guys left. And you figure that that's a guy that's going to enter in. Like, of that group, the defensive line group that I'm looking at, and I'll go interior to exterior. Dom McKinley, Stefan Green, Malik Blockton, I'll include the guys who transferred out. Buddy Mathis, Brandon Brown, Sean Washington on the inside, 6 guys, plus Lamar Brown, Richard Anderson, Deuce Geralds. So you're talking about 9 guys on the interior. Then on the edge, Relaford, Jaylen Brown, and they just got C.J. Jackson, Damian Shanklin, Dylan Carpenter, Trenton Henderson. Well, that's 6 guys right there. I couldn't confidently rubber stamp one of those guys as a starter for sure against Clemson. So to me, that feels like good competition. And I did a segment at the top of the show like, hey, I don't know if you got any stars here, but your depth is getting better. And you've got a lot of guys who have proven themselves they can play in the Southeastern Conference. And so you're restocking the shelves. And so I think it's reasonable to suggest that there's playing time to be had. I can only analyze that. I can only analyze the playing time. I cannot analyze the money that's being offered. And I won't know what the guys who leave get. I won't know whenever Buddy Mathis leaves what he'll get. And I don't even know if Buddy Mathis will leave. Deshaun Spears said he was hopping in the transfer portal. Blake Baker went and talked to him, and an hour later he was out of the transfer portal. Like that's the other side of this thing. Like I think Buddy Mathis is leaving. I think C.J. Jackson's leaving. They said they're leaving. They might come back if they didn't like what they hear and they go in the transfer portal, and then LSU comes back to the table and says, hey, we do have some more money. Don't leave. Like, here's this. But I'll never know if that happens. And I won't know what they signed for elsewhere. And I don't know what Stephylan Green got. And I don't know what Malik Blockton got. And I don't know what C.J. Jackson wants. And I don't know what Jaylen Brown got. And it's just, all I can do is analyze the depth chart. I might nail it. I might be way off. But that's all I can give you. So it's just turnstiles is what it is. And it feels like every time two come in, well, somebody looks up and goes, wait a second. Two more came into my position? I'm out. That's what it feels like. I can't prove it. I can't point to that being absolutely the case, but that's what it felt like over the last 90 minutes. Like there were plenty of guys who announced they were going to the transfer portal in December. Plenty of guys who, once that portal opened, hopped right in. And then you get to a week later, and we're a week later from the transfer portal opening, and now you got guys going in. It's like, feels like that's just a response to a player coming at your position. Again, I can't prove it, but it just feels like that's what it is. So that's where you stand. Jaylen Brown, Malik Brockton, Stephylan Green coming in, Buddy Mathis, C.J. Jackson going out. Before we get to take it or leave it in our final segment, did want to touch on this briefly. LSU preseason #1 in the nation. Perfect Game came out with their preseason rankings for college baseball, which practice starts up in just a couple of days. They can have full squad workouts here coming up this weekend, and certainly will. LSU's first game just 5.5 weeks away. And I think the ranking is probably reasonable. I can't claim to know everybody that Georgia Tech's got. I don't know everybody that UCLA's got. I got a reasonable handle on their lineup because I did the game on the radio when LSU played them up in Omaha. I know that Mississippi State essentially took a decent SEC team and then a underachieving but talented ACC team in Virginia and merged them and should be good. I know Arkansas' schedule's criminally easy and they'll probably be pretty good. I know Texas A&M's got some talent. I know Texas has got a lot of talent. But LSU's a pretty safe bet as the preseason #1. You've got a coach that's proven to to evaluate, recruit, and develop and win. You've got a guy coming back as the #1 pitcher who had a monster freshman season. You've got a lot of talent on the offense that is absolutely proven. You know what Derek Curiel is. You know what Chris Stanfield is. You know what Stephen Milam is. You know what Jake Brown is. You got some exciting transfers. Y'all know what the baseball team looks like for the most part. And the amount of talent on the pitching staff, well, with unproven roles, is big time. You've got 2 of their last 3 national championships. Yeah, it's reasonable to put them as preseason #1. Oftentimes, I point to these rankings and I go, yeah, the purple and gold hat usually carries a lot of weight. It's just a safe thing to do. This time, there's a little bit more substance behind that because you didn't lose everything. You got all your outfielders back. You've got 2 of your better pitchers from last year. Not Anthony Einson and Cade Anderson, but Cowan and Evans were monster for you last year. You've got tons of talent that's come in, that's in the bullpen, and you've got exciting transfers. So I think LSU's probably a fair bet at preseason #1. I'm not quite as high on UCLA as everybody in the postseason because I watched them and I didn't think they were terrifying offensively talented, and I thought their pitching staff was really underwhelming in Omaha. Just a bunch of what looked to be average stuff dudes that they just shuffled through a ton. Didn't have an ace, didn't have a true #2. It just looked like a bunch of guys. But their offense that was all sophomores last year, that's all juniors now, and they added a couple guys in the portal, should be pretty good. I think LSU's deserving of the #1 preseason rank. I know all of you that are listening going, well, obviously we won 2 of the last 3 championships. We got Jay Johnson. Yeah, but I'm here to give my opinion, and I think it's a positive one. I think LSU does deserve that. I have my questions. Depth in the starting rotation. Evans is a full-time Friday guy. Is there enough power? I mean, I have some questions, but not a lot. I don't have a lot of questions. I have a lot of knowns. I have a lot of confidence. I don't have a lot of questions. I think preseason number 1 is well warranted for Jay Johnson as his team. He would probably dismiss it pretty quickly. I know what Paul Maneri would say. I'd rather be preseason number 1 than preseason 104th. Means I probably got a pretty good team, but Jay will probably dismiss all of that. They'll get to cranking this weekend, and very much looking forward to LSU baseball, and we'll start talking about it probably a little bit more. I'd say in about 3 weeks more. I'm going to go out there and see him a little bit to cleanse the palate from what's going on in the rest of LSU sports over the last week, but I'm looking forward to it. That's safe to say. We'll come back and close it out next.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
One Bath and Closets. OneBathAndClosets.com is the website. David Duvall and his team, 30 years redesigning and remodeling bathrooms and closets. Actually more than 30 years now, because I've been saying 30 years for like 2 years. It's been a while. 3 decades plus for David Duvall, and safety is a big deal, especially as folks age and they are in the bathroom, because there are hazardous situations that can present themselves. You can't take that away. Can't eliminate it. But you can mitigate against it with non-slip floors, with guardrails, handrails, and slippery areas, walk-in tubs for convenience, safety, comfort, showers with benches to lessen the risk of slipping and falling. If there's someone in your life that's aging, there's someone that you love, and you want to mitigate against some of that risk, but you maybe haven't given that thought, do so. Contact David Duvall. Go to onebathandclosets.com and have that free consultation. Just have a sit-down. That doesn't cost you anything. David will tell you what they can do, and if you look for financing, they've got 0% up to 18 months, same as cash. It's One Bath and Closets. Check them out online, onebathandclosets.com.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environmental impact to help protect our planet. Together, we're fueling our energy future. Atmos Energy.
I'm Lawyer Locke Meredith. We are honored and humbled to receive from our clients in Google. Based on 5-star client reviews, the designation of our law firm is highly recommended. Whether you hire us at all, please give us a call, 272-5555. You have nothing to lose.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Meredith. Injuries happen when you least expect them to, making your life more complicated. At Locke Meredith Sean Fagan and Associates, we know this, and we strive to help each of our clients during these times. Whether you hire us at all, give us a call at 272-5555.
Looking for cleaner energy? Propane is energy for everyone. And when you're cooking with clean, affordable propane, you're cooking with gas. In the wintertime, nothing heats a home like Louisiana propane. And when you need hot water, propane's got you covered. Oh, and you won't regret that propane generator when the power goes out. I'm Miss Louisiana, Gabrielle McLeod, and to find more information and to find a propane dealer near you, visit louisianapropane.com.
Most roofers just replace your shingles. At Pelican, we diagnose your roof, digging deep down to find the root cause of your roof symptoms. Now cough for me. Good. We don't ignore your roof's issues, we address them. Let's just take care of this right here. Helping your roof to become the best version of itself. Interesting that you would say that. How does that make you feel? So call Pelican Roofing for your free roof checkup today.
Sometimes you ignore the signs, even when they're right in front of you. Problem gambling isn't always easy to spot. Know the signs, set your limit. Learn more about healthy gambling habits by visiting us online or text or call for free, confidential help now.
Transform your living space with Lacoste & Young Remodeling and take your home from outdated to outstanding. Redefine your kitchen for the ultimate culinary experience or elevate your daily routine with a spa-worthy bathroom retreat. Our skilled team brings 3D modeling to life to ensure your vision becomes a reality. We believe luxury should be accessible and offer tailored solutions to fit your budget without compromising quality. So contact us today for a free estimate. Lacoste & Young Remodeling, providing perfect solutions for your dream home.
Raising Cane's is our victory meal. Football fans are some of the most...
You're listening to The Hunt Palmer Show, brought to you by Sagrera Farms.
just saw a video from Glendale where they'll play the Fiesta Bowl tonight. It is 20 degrees warmer in Baton Rouge, Louisiana than Scottsdale, Arizona right now.
I would have never guessed that.
20 degrees. 61 and raining there, 78 here.
I didn't even know it rained in Arizona. It feels like it's always hot.
It is. Well, I thought. Well, it's not today. But they'll be under the roof tonight. I didn't get a prediction for you on that game, by the way.
Oh, yeah. No, I told you. Ain't really prediction. I'm just going to come out and say it. Look, Miami, I need punch them in the mouth. Go ahead. Suffocate them. Strangle them. You got 2 top 10 picks at the end. I'm looking at if there's the only way I see Miami winning the game would have to be just a nasty game. So I'm going to say 13 to – yeah, it's got to be like 13 to – it's got to be super low. So I'll say 17-13 Miami. Like, it's got to be nasty.
If they Ole Miss to 13 points.
It's going to have to be something crazy, huh? I mean, you know if Ole Miss scores over 25 points, that Miami's in trouble. Because you don't want Beck throwing the ball around late in the game.
Here's what I want. I want Georgia to beat them is what I want.
We all did.
I went into the Dome. What day was that? Thursday last week.
Thursday last week.
A week ago. And I was like, this is awesome. Like, LSU's had some great moments. I love being an LSU fan. I'm confident, comfortable with my team. A lot of highs, some lows. But Georgia's just the gold standard right now. They win all the time. They beat everybody. They win the SEC every year. Like, I mean, I get to be a Georgia fan tonight. This is great. I'm going to win. Definitely.
I'm gonna win.
Where's the beer stand? This is awesome. And they freaking lost.
Yeah. I'll never forget that Trinidad Chandler scramble when he dropped that dime to, I don't know who the receiver was, but that dime over the shoulder, I'm just like, yeah.
Thankfully, I had my double scotch that I had gotten at the end of the third quarter when they cut off alcohol sales, which helped a little bit with that, but not necessarily enough. They lost. Just, I cannot. I've said it 50 times. I can't have them in the final. They're Ole Miss. Go back. Go back where you're supposed to be.
Oh, no, they will. We just got to get past this. They're going to decline.
I needed Ohio State. Maybe Miami's better than Ohio State. I don't believe that because I'm trained not to believe that. If I had Ohio State tonight, I would feel really good. I don't. I have Miami, who lost to Louisville, and their quarterback threw 4 interceptions. I just don't.
And look, that's valid. That is super valid, and I can't disagree with you about that statement. But I think that what Miami showed you is that, well, especially that Ohio State game, they're tough. That's why I said they have to punk Ole Miss. That's the only way they can do this because they punked Ohio State.
I need to see it.
Yeah.
All right, take it or leave it.
Take it or leave it.
Take it or leave it.
Today's hottest stories in sports, news, and sometimes even Hunt's life. The question is, will he take them or leave them?
Okay, so let's start it off with a little MLB free agency. So the Red Sox are officially the only MLB club that has yet to sign a big league free agent this offseason. So are the Red Sox asleep at the wheel? Take it or leave it.
Got to take it.
I'll take it.
Makes me a little nervous about Bregman because I think the Cubs are in on that, and I would like Bregman to come at the right price. I would think the Cubs need one more bat, and Bregman would be that. But obviously he had a good go of it in Boston and is looking for a nice deal. His swing fits that ballpark beautifully. So that makes me nervous that they may go after him, and that would leave the Cubs out in the cold. So I hope they're asleep at the wheel, and that gives the Cubs a chance. But that's not great to have not signed anybody here in the middle of January.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. Nothing. So an 83-year-old Dallas Cowboys owner and general manager, basically everything with the Cowboys, Jerry Jones said he still has dreams. My goal is to retire as the owner that has won the most Super Bowls. Jones said during an offseason news press conference on Wednesday, that's my goal, to be retired in the NFL as the owner that has won the most Super Bowls. Currently, Robert Kraft has 6. Jerry Jones has, I think, 4?
No, Jerry Jones has 3.
3? Yeah, 3. So, will Jerry Jones catch Robert Kraft? Take it or leave it.
He's got to win 4 more.
He's got to win 4 more
to beat him. I don't think that's going to happen. Y'all know my record in betting. I will bet Jerry Jones does not win 4 more Super Bowls. I'm willing to make that bet.
Yeah. I think that's a good handicap, actually.
I'm a brilliant handicapper, as you know.
I think Jimmy will actually be clapping right now.
That's exactly right.
So, I don't know, man. I think it's still good he has dreams, but we've seen the Cowboys, they haven't made it to the NFC Championship game like 5 years before I was born.
They're the longest team in the NFC without making it. Washington made it last year.
That makes the Cowboys.
That means the Cowboys are the team that has gone the longest in the entire conference without playing in the NFL semifinal. without playing in the conference championship.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
It was ridiculous because you have teams like the Carolina Panthers and the Falcons that have done it sooner than them. So let's keep it in the NFC
Jimmy's
South.
on Ole Miss +3.
Oh Lord, that was your pick.
I know it is. I don't want it. I know what my pick is. I want to lose. I'm willing to sacrifice my reputation and the public sentiment around my handicapping ability for Ole Miss to get their butts kicked tonight.
We need it. We need it bad. So
actually, I don't need them to get their butts kicked. I need them to lose by 1 point.
Oh,
that's all I'm asking for.
You want the
1
heartbreak?
point.
I'll take the heartbreak.
I'll take 50 or 49 or 48 or 47 or 46 all the way to 1.
Yeah.
Anything.
Get
them out.
Get the job done. All right, so let's keep it in NFC South. So with the Tampa Bay Bucks firing the offensive coordinator Josh Grizzard,
yes,
Baker Mayfield is in line to play for his 8th offensive coordinator in the NFL, his 4th in 4 years in Tampa. So is Baker Mayfield the master of all offenses?
No.
I'll
leave. The NFC South stinks, and the Saints need to set their attention to winning the division. Now, I liked what Luke said. Don't go nuts like Washington did and overextend yourself and then put yourself in a bind and then have a terrible season. Be smart, be prudent. I realize we're talking about Mickey here, but chill out and see what you can do to add prudently to your roster.
Yes. Some young talent, not like you said what Washington did and grabbing every old guy on the free agency.
Marshawn Lattimore.
Yeah, that's it for take it or leave it.
All right. That's it for us here on this Thursday. Brought to you by Sagrera Farms Premium Angus Beef. Contact my guy, Sean Sagrera. He's the best. We went up and saw the farm in Ethel before we went up to Shreveport. It is gorgeous. Facilities are fantastic, and the beef is wonderful. Check them out at Sagrera Farms. Missed any of our show today? Catch it on demand wherever you find your podcast. Search Hunt Palmer Show. Matt's going to drive you home next on After Further Review. We're back tomorrow for a Friday edition, getting ready for the weekend. It's all about the U, baby. Come on, Kane.
The Hunt Palmer Show.
Chevy. Fabry Chevrolet and GMC. Highway 61 in St. Francisville. Check them out. Need a new vehicle? How about a Chevy Suburban? How about a Chevy Silverado? How about a Tahoe? They're hot. Starting the new year off, get you new wheels. They got a huge inventory at Fabry Chevrolet GMC. Looking for a GMC? Sierras, Yukons, Denali's, they got them. You can check out the entire inventory online at FabryChevrolet.com. Make that short drive to St. Francisville. You know the Fabry family. They've been here 35 years. You know what you're going to get when you shop with the Fabrys. You're going to get incredible customer service and a wonderful buying experience. Brand new to the Fabry family is Fabry Chevrolet GMC in St. Francisville on Highway 61. So go by and see them. If you need service, they service all makes in the service department right there in St. Francisville. It's Fabry Chevrolet GMC. They're online, the entire inventory at FabryChevrolet.com.
Most roofers just replace your shingles. At Pelican, we diagnose your roof